Hey, welcome. On this video, I'll show you how to set up your Google business profile, formerly known as Google My Business profile for your winery. It's the first step to get started for getting your business, specifically your winery or your wine bar, your tasting room in the Google Maps and in the Google Business Profile directory. So when people search for you, they'll be able to find you and find your key information such as your phone number, links to your website, the links to your review, which is very important, and photos that you and other people, guests, and customers have posted on Google Maps for your winery. So it's definitely the first step I would consider in the setting up your winery's online footprint or online presence. So let's go ahead and get started. It's very easy to do. Most of you already have this business profile on Google, but if you don't, it's a good thing to get started on it. And also, if your company or your winery already has a profile but you don't have access, this is a good way to get access as well, uh, independently of any third party company or your agency that manages your marketing, even your marketing employees. Um, you should have access as well to the Google business profile, and I'll show you why in a few seconds. All right, so to get started, the first step is to go to business.google.com. So business.google.com on your web browser. And when you go to that page, it's going to look similar as this one right here. I'm going to show you real quick. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you go to business.google.com and you haven't signed in yet. So when you click Manage Now, it's going to ask you for a login. So this is going to be a Google account. If you have a Gmail account, you can enter it here. Or if you have a Google Workspace with your domain that you use for logging into your email, you can also use it to log in. So when you log in, then it's gonna show you if this is the first time you're adding a business here on Google. It's gonna show you a page similar to this one that I'm gonna show you right now. Uh, so when you log in, it's gonna ask you to find and manage your business. To type, you can type your business name here, your winery name. So let's say I'm gonna name my winery Ventura Wines. As you can see, if you have a business already, it's going to show up here probably depending on the name of your winery. Uh, so if you already manage a business and it's on Google Business, you have a profile here, then it's going to show up here and you can click on it and confirm that you're the owner so you can make edits or request access if somebody else already claimed this profile. So let's go ahead and create my business profile right now. And then the business category is important to define here because this is the way that Google is going to categorize your business. So if we type wine, you're going to see that there's a lot of different options here. You have winery, wine bar, wine club, wine store. Now, even though this is one category, you can change this later or even add more categories, which is important because if you are a winery, you probably have a wine club or you have a wine bar, maybe in another location. Maybe there's a wine cellar. So you definitely want to be able to add a few of these later. So let's go ahead right now and just select winery, click next. And here it's going to ask you, do you want to add a location customers can visit, like a store or office? So definitely yes, we want a location to show up on Google Maps. Let's click yes, and then next. What's the address? This is important. Here you want to type up the address exactly as it appears on uh, the USPS address, or you can check or double check on Google Maps. But here you want to type in your address specifically as it is. So I'm gonna start typing my office address here, and then once you have it down, if you click on the one of the options, it's gonna add the rest, the city, state, and PO box in the case of the United States. All right, so let's go ahead and click next. Now it asks you, do you provide deliveries or home and office visits? So if you deliver to your customers, you can click yes. And what's gonna happen now when you click yes and you click next is gonna ask you the areas you serve. This is optional. You don't have to specify, especially if you do nationwide shipping to the states that uh, you are, allowed to send or ship to. But if you are more of a local winery and you do local delivery, then you can select here an area. It can be a city or a whole area, depending on the radius that you want to do. So let's click on next. Uh, this is what this is going to do is enable people to see on your Google Business profile that you do delivery. All right, so now let's add the phone number. And if you have a website, then it's a great idea to add your website here. I always recommend to use HTTPS just because that way traffic will get identified because it's going through the secure URL. And let's click next. If you don't have a website, no problem. You can click on I don't have a website. So let's click next. Now, after you click next, it's gonna ask you a way to verify. This is super important here. So in order to fully manage and represent this business on Google, you'll need to confirm that it's yours. So right now, the option that is shown to most of the businesses is postcard by mail. So this, by putting your contact name here and you confirm the address below, it's gonna mail you a postcard with a code. And that code, you're gonna enter it here on your profile to confirm that you receive mail in that location or that address. And also, this will verify that you have access to the location as well. So here, before they showed you more options, but right now they don't have uh, a lot of options. Before there was like a phone call option, and there was a couple of other options as well. But for now, let's select postcard by mail. That way, you'll receive that postcard in a couple of days, depending on where it is. So let's click on mail, and that's it. They're sending that postcard on its way. Obviously, this is not a real wine business, so I'm not gonna go ahead and publish it when the postcard arrives, but I will confirm it when it's here. All right, so the next thing we want to do here is at business hours. So this is super important as well because it's going to allow you to show customers your hours and decrease the phone calls to ask are you open or not. So definitely you want to go ahead and set your hours here. Uh, so if you open at 11 and closes at 5 p.m. and then you can continue on for the rest of the days that you want to show that you are open. All right, so let's do, actually I have to provide the full time. All right, so let's do that. All right, so when we click next, now it's gonna ask you if you want to add messaging to your profile. So this is like a type of a chat or a message similar to SMS that it allows people to message you on Google for free, so you don't get charged for these messages. So this is a good way to also interact with people very quickly. All right, so the business description, this is very key. So this description is seen on search, on maps, and other Google services as well. So make sure to include, uh, you know, specific keywords such as the location you're in, uh, what type of business you are, if you're a winery or just a tasting room. Uh, Also, it's very important here to add the type of wines that you do or sell or produce. If you have a wine club, also it's good to um, add it here. So all these keywords that are on your website, definitely want to add them here as well. So it's a good idea to copy some information from your website into here, like the meta description of your website, which is what Google shows on the search results. So you can go ahead and fill up that all the way up to 750. So very important to include, the words like winery, the location where you are. That way, when people search for businesses near this location, it's gonna highlight that in the results as well. All right, so let's click next. Add photos of your business. So definitely here you want to add photos of the outdoor of your business, uh, of the inside, so they get an idea what to expect when they visit you. This is definitely a good idea. I'm going to skip it for now. And here, your business profile is almost ready. So we can continue making updates and edits after we verify it, after we get that postcard with the code. Then we'll be able to publish it and people will be able to find it. So once you click done here, you can add uh, other information as well. Let's say you want to add more categories. You can go to info, and on the left side at the bottom, you have the description, opening date, photos. You can add attributes if you have accessibility features, what amenities you have, and services. You can add information about the wine club. If you do events, you can also add that here. Very useful. Then here we have the category. So if you go to info, and here when it says below your business name where it says winery, if you click on the little pencil, you'll be able to add additional categories. So let's say you have wine club, you sell on premise, so let's do wine store as well. If you do events, you can do event venue. If you do live music, you can put live music venue as well. So a lot of options that will help you get found on Google. All right, so let's click apply. So basically, other crucial information, obviously, if you have special hours during holidays or other dates, you can add them here. That'll help people know what's what hours are you opening. And really, the other or the next most important thing that you can do is click on reviews, and then obviously people can leave reviews, but you have to still enter the code that you're going to get on the mail to reply to reviews. But you can definitely send the link to people so they can review. All right, so uh, here you'll be able to see all your reviews. But for now, if you click on home, and you on the right side, if you click on, well, people will not be able to leave reviews, sorry, until you verify your profile. But you can create a post letting people know that you created uh, the business profile. And again, it's going to show up once the verification is completed. So very important to keep an eye on the mail for that. This post feature is one of the most important things that tells Google that you are active and tells people that you're active. So uh, just as you do on your social media, you can create posts here with events or offers, just give updates. with photos, and specifically here you can create a buy, learn more, or sign up button, and you can add a link for it. So this is definitely a crucial tool that you will want to use once your profile is verified. Um, so keep that in mind. So business profile in Google, the main two things or three things you're going to do is keep your business information up to date. If you have new services, new products, you can add them here. Uh, Hour changes, very important. People go by this information here a lot. Uh, your phone number and website link, definitely crucial information that you need to have up to date. Reviews is the second most important thing here. So definitely, yeah, once you are verified, you want to share that review link with your customers. When they visit you, you can create QR codes with that link, add it to your email marketing and your email transactional emails as well if you do e-commerce. And then the posts is the third most important thing that you will have here to share announcements and updates, and that's what it's going to look like. uh, that's just going to show up when people look. So let's look at a winery, for example, here. Let's stop sharing this one. Let's look at one of the wineries that I work with, Augusta Vin. And when you search for them in Google, you'll see here that one of the first things that come up in the search on the right, it's the Google business profile, right? Let me hide a few of the extensions I have here. Uh, you will normally not see any of this. All right. So on the right side here, you see this is the business profile. And you can see you have buttons to go to the website, directions, and you can call. So that's why you want this information to be up to date. And then you can see photos of the posted by the business owners, and then photos that Google has captured with their little 360 camera on the car. And then, as you can see here, you have the service options, the address, the hours, phone, and then links. Products, which is super important to add there. You know, if you have uh, obviously wine, tours, event tickets, this is definitely a great area to add them and showcase them. And also reviews. So definitely, it's a great asset to have. But you have to get started, and the first step is to add this Google business profile or reclaim it from the agency or the employee that's managing it. So you as an owner or as the marketing manager have access to it as well. So that's it for now. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in.